can happen.
Welcome back to What's the Worst That Can Happen property podcast with me, Dave, and Charlotte. Today we're joined by Adam Smith from Warvena, someone who doesn't just work in the industry, but genuinely lives it. You can hear it in the way he talks, the passion, the pride, the constant drive to do things properly and to leave things better than he found them. Adam speaks openly about the industry that shaped him, how he's trying to shape the next generation as well. From backing young people coming through, giving them opportunities, time, belief to make sure that they understand the value of hard work and integrity. This is someone who cares deeply about more than just the job. We also get into life away from work. Adam is a family man at heart and he's honest about the effort it takes to show up properly at home while still pushing forward professionally. It's about knowing what matters, being present where it counts and building a life that feels right, not just successful on paper. It's a real conversation, no fluff, no bullshit, no filters, just a grounded, thoughtful look at passion, responsibility, and what it means to build something that lasts. Let's get into it.
Welcome to What's the Worst That Could Happen property podcast. I'm Charlotte and I'm here with my co-host, Dave.
Also here with Adam.
Okay, yeah, we're here with Adam. And we're really looking forward to this conversation. We met maybe 18 months ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, about 2 years ago.
Yeah, networking event.
Networking, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
And
seen you at many more recently.
No.
Busy man.
Yeah, busy. Busy
Good.
with work, busy at home, 2 kids.
It's not a bad thing, is it?
Of course not. My good looks deteriorating really fastly. We'll say other things, but no. The proudest thing I've accomplished is definitely 2 kids. So yeah, all good.
Awesome.
Just need some more time, to be honest. Work's
It's
busy.
one thing you can't buy, unfortunately.
No. Yeah, no, and also they're just. You feel like you're missing out, don't you? Get a bit of FOMO. You see people interacting. You think, oh, wish I wasn't that busy. But then it's a good problem to have, isn't it? So can't have it both ways.
Yeah. So Adam, tell us a little bit about yourself then.
So I'm Adam Smith, one of the directors at Warvena Construction, co-owned with Chris Cook. Started back 2020 during COVID. Started in October. Everyone thought we were mental. Starting at the peak, really. And in basically 5 years, we've got a really good name, really good brand, 50 people working for us at the minute. And the company basically was set out on a bit of a desire to offer a bit more of a modern approach to construction. Worked for a lot of builders, developers very traditionally, and always felt that the triangle between architects, builders and the client has been a bit disjointed. So our approach was just to try and be as informal as we could. Now, sort of in 2025, 2026, we're set up a company that's basically fully integrated build, design, joinery company. So clients can come to us, do the whole thing, can do just the build, can do models, SketchUps, interior designs, got an in-house interior designer. So that's one thing that's quite unique for a builder to have. And basically just try and make it as interactive as possible.
Well, you're bloody everywhere, mate. Everywhere I drive around, I see in Warvena signs.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky that we've actually, I hate the word luck. We're not lucky. We've
Worked hard.
worked hard, but we've just got some really good projects in really nice areas. And I think our branding makes us look like we only build these sort of amazing houses on the cliff edge. But we tend to be there at the minute, which is really nice. And not to be cliche, but when you set up these companies, that's what you want, isn't it? You want to be on the cliff next to the big boys building those architecturally stunning houses. And it is hard to get them. Like, it really is hard. And you just need to start off small, and we're now there. And I found it mental, to be honest.
You've had confidence in yourself. You've had to believe that you could get there, and you've had that aspiration. And what's lovely is there'll be lots of people that are aspiring to be where you are now. And this podcast will be able to offer some help to those people as well.
Yeah, I would 100% like mentor or help anyone wanting to get into the industry. Maybe arrogance, maybe just desire and gut and blood, sweat and tears. But we market ourselves doing $5,000 garage conversions as a specialist coastal property expert. And we were doing hardly anything at that time. And that was always a desire to get there. And now we're there. We need to stay there and be basically doing what we say we're going to do. But I think it also goes back to credibility. You need to go to these architects. You need to be saying what you've done previously, why you think you can do it. My background, maybe go into a little bit later, but I was multi-award winning site manager, worked as an apprentice in Chippy and only built high-end homes. So I knew that I could do it. I just hadn't done it for myself. But in terms of people needing to get there, you just need to be doing the small jobs perfectly and just build up and scale up. But there is definitely a league of people, and I've wanted to get to the top league. And for me to get there, I've had to invest, time away from my family to do my HNCs, MVQ7s, chartered builder, passive house, tradesman. It's not just by luck that I've been able to sort of get these jobs really now.
Yeah.
Lots of long days and sleepless nights and waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning thinking about a small detail that you need to pay attention to.
Yeah, and just like you have to live and breathe it. And that's a really bad negative for my wife. I'm in bed at 10 speaking to clients, very attentive, genuinely really care about it. I want it to be a success, but that is a little bit of a hindrance on my life at the minute. But 5 years in, 5-6 million quid's worth of work live across Cornwall in one of the most expensive roads, or all of the expensive roads in the county. I just need to get my life back a little bit over the next 5 years now. But yeah, it's
balance.
Well, there's not balance. I would disagree. There is
harmony.
Yeah, a little, maybe. There is a decision between one or two, isn't there? So do I give the client an attentive service and sacrifice giving my kids that attention at that point and get back to that email at 9 o'clock at night? Do you know what I mean? So I don't think life is balanced very well, but I do think you have to make decisions that will need to be done there and then. And sometimes that means that you work late. Who wants to work Sundays? But if you aren't on top of things, you then need to sacrifice your time to deliver what you want to do as a company. And I think, you balance things, but I do think that you have to sacrifice what you want to achieve. And people think that, you've got this amazing company and these amazing lads, but that isn't, that's based on sacrificing lots of time, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, hard work pays off at the end of the day, doesn't it? So,
cliche, but it does.
Yeah.
You
like
start
it does.
seeing reward, yeah.
It does.
And I mean, we met, 3 or 4 years ago now, and I just popped into your office. And as soon as we met, I could see your passion and your drive for the business. But then I've also seen you out with your kids and see the love that you share for your family as well. So it's...
You've seen me absolutely bombing it down demon drops, and super fast.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love my job. I love my kids, and I will do everything 110% the best I can. That's just what I'm like. I don't go for a kick around and play football and not want to win. I'm just sort of, that's in my blood. I don't know where that's from. Maybe from my dad, but yeah, I think just want to do everything I can the best I can.
Yeah.
What inspired you to start?
A little bit of a downer, so apologies. My dad was a builder. He had a development company back in the day, was doing really, really well, and unfortunately died when I was about 9. Had a heart attack, just dropped dead basically. That then put us in a really bad position financially, and my mum was struggling. My brothers live in London, but they all lived in London at the time, but they used to be tradies and they worked for my dad and they ended up doing their own thing. And when I got to about 16, I was going to join the military, wanted to be a Marine. And my brother rang me and said, "You're effing not doing that. You're not being shot out for 16 grand a year. I'll get you a trade." And I thought, actually, he's quite a smart bloke. I might take him on that. Bit of a father figure, even as my brother. I started looking at apprenticeships and ended up getting one, just doing some social housing stuff. It was really, really basic stuff. And to be fair, I wasn't interested at the time. Sort of navigated my way into another company that was really, really high end. We'd done 9 units at Rocky Lane and St Agnes, and if you Google them images, they're like architecturally stunning, and that was 16, 18 years ago. So done that, loved it. 3-4 years on one site, and they're all on cliff edges. They're ridiculous, and just loved it. And the guy I worked for could see that I was like really driven. I was about 22 then, going all up and down the UK, doing SIPs, which is structurally insulated panel systems, which was at the time the future of timber frame, future sort of airtight buildings. I was running jobs with like 40-year-old blokes and just, I'm 22, just barking orders at them, trying to get shit done. Then I hurt my back and I thought, do you know what, I'm quite good at management, get the best out of people. My brother then worked for a company called Warvena in Torquay. Said, "Oh, I'll get you a sort of training route as a site manager." So did that for 2 years, made it to site management, won pride in the job every job I was involved with, which was huge. Like, it's a huge thing. That means you're the top 3% of the whole county, or whole country, basically, your site come in.
Awesome.
And then, won Seal of Excellence on a job, which means the top 1%. And then got my own site in Bodmin, won pride in the job again. And unfortunately, I couldn't go to Bude then. That was the next site. I thought, I can't do this anymore. And so, yeah, went and did my time with P. Chapman, which was building some 3 Mile Beach stuff. But yeah, the drive, really, going back to the, I suppose, original question, is just like when I started doing the high-end stuff, I just really enjoyed it. And the clients would be coming down making decisions, and they'd be asking you, you'll be like a 20-year-old bloke, and they're like, what should I do here? Like, my floor's this, what way should I lay it? Oh, well, the light's going to go here, and oh, thanks so much, yeah, that's the right decision. And I thought, I love working with these clients. It's like really, really enjoyable. And I use the analogy now to my team, like, we're building Ferraris, we need people to come in, picking the colours of the Ferrari. It's like a super exciting thing, super cool thing we do. And I've always had that, even if the job was 20 quid, it doesn't matter. That skirting's important to them, it's their decision, and I just love it, like, genuinely.
Yeah.
Cliche.
You're obviously very passionate about it, and as you say, it doesn't come without sacrifice, but your clients are getting an amazing service. And I know when I spoke to you, you were really sort of not shy in talking about comparing quotes between different builders and actually understanding that the cheapest quote may not be the best. I've been there and had 3 quotes for a project in the past and could see the difference. And it was like, right, okay, that chap's going to dig out that space with a teaspoon because he's charging me an absolute fortune for it. And working out that asking the same questions and working out why are they charging so differently and understanding the full scope of the quote. I know it's obviously something really important to you. So can you go into that? Why it's not always the best thing to accept the cheapest?
Yeah, I think that's one of the other reasons behind setting up Warvena was clients got really frustrated at times not knowing the true cost to complete of a project. What was happening a lot, I found, was people would make a decision based on what they'd been guided towards. And that's fine, but at least tell them what the recurring effects could be of that. That could be a really time-consuming thing, could be really expensive, could need 5 layers of oil. So we would get in these little conflicts when I was employed, not through Warvena, but when I was employed, you get these conflicts at the end. So, well, I didn't make that decision knowing that it would be another 10 weeks on the job or something. So again, I thought, this is really disjointed, like, unhappy client, which could have been totally avoided if we just was really transparent from day dot. So going back to money and going back to quotes, when we started to quote, and if you see how a quote is, like, it's overbearing, it's too much stuff, but you know what you get.
It's comprehensive.
Yeah, and I think it's money, it's the most important thing. These people invest in their whole lives worth of money into you and your quote. If they can't understand it, or they don't know how much they're getting, or they don't know what the spec is, and half the time they don't even know what they want, so I'll tell them what they're having. If they don't know what kitchen they're having, that's fine. I'll give you all of the budget that you haven't told me, because I know what you need. Even to the point where I give people like an allowance of blinds or curtains per window. And they're like, why the fuck have you done that? So, well, do you need them?
Yeah. You don't want to get to the end of the project and then you're not able to furnish it. Or
And
like that.
It sounds so stupid, but I can guarantee 10 quotes, 8 of them wouldn't have missing bits. And that's sometimes a tactic. And I have probably year 3, I was giving everyone too much and they're going, you're really expensive, and I was winning no work. And then some QS said, you idiot, the tactic is to sort of miss stuff off. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. So now
it's not a nice conversation, is it?
It's also just unethical, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
The client needs to have the money in the bank to pay you. So then I'm in a position where I'm like, well, you owe me 50 grand. They say, well, I didn't have the in the pot. So then it's just a massive conflict. So it's easier to value engineer things when they know they don't have the money. That's like route 1. So going in and asking how much money they got to spend on it, and they say 100 grand, you say, well, it's just not going to happen. What do you think it is? Well, by eye, it's probably 150 plus VAT, which no one considers. Didn't consider that one. This might not be even a goer, but at least you're like flushing it out a little bit. Also do just traffic light systems. What's really important to you? Oh, this and this. Okay, well, they're good investments. maybe just don't do all those stupid quirky, have a 10 grand door.
Yeah.
Not a good investment.
Mhm.
So try to basically just go down like why are you doing it is one question I ask, which people find weird. The builder's asking, why are you doing it? Just fucking price the architectural plans.
Yeah.
No, like, because why do you need a porch? I just don't want to be wet. I'll get rid of the porch, put a lean-to, say
Yeah.
10 grand. Oh, ears perked up. Yeah, okay, I'm interested now. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's having that transparency, isn't it? I mean, I see it a lot with windows and doors, quotes coming through. And when you compare quotes like for like, they never are. And the reason being, as you say, once the client looks at the bottom line and they go with the cheaper quote, they then realise that actually they haven't been quoted for absolutely everything.
It'll
So it
end
ends
up the same.
Yeah, it ends up the same or even costing more money.
yeah, but also not that I, buy much stuff as like it for my house, but we do it. So we would go out to tender and we'd say, I want your windows a 100 grand package. And then they go, yeah, we've quoted the windows as 100 grand. But then I'm ringing them like, yeah, like, how are you installing these? And they're like, I don't know, I haven't considered it. I'll sort that out later. And I said, no, I'm pricing this for this client. Like, I'm not getting trapped later.
Mm.
Have you allowed a crane? Like, the window's 350 kg. It's right at the back of the house. It's an oriel bay. It's floating. How are you doing this? I haven't really thought about it. Well, fucking think about it.
Yeah.
Because I need to price it. And
Yeah.
I don't
And
wanna,
cranes aren't cheap.
I don't want to go to the client, your contractor didn't allow 10 grand. That's just, he's going to be pissed off at me. And I'm not even doing
I'm not doing
doing anything. So
Exactly.
I'm a bit like, antagonize maybe and just prod people and say, well, think about it. Let's get like the actual true cost.
Yeah.
You get like these amazing companies do fancy as hell products. And then you say like, oh, we haven't allowed delivery. Well, what do you mean? What's the delivery? Oh, it's an extra 2 grand. Well, why is that not in your quote? Just be transparent. So it does roll you up a little bit, some of the little hidden things that do crop up. But again, going back to the question, like, it's really hard. If you're going to go out and get loads of quotes, builders aren't interested. So go and find 3 people you actually get a deep connection with. You have a gut feeling straight away. You can tell who you want to work with, don't you? And I think that's really important. Secondly, I've priced things incorrectly. I'm not perfect by any means. And give people 2 options. So quote it, then have a meeting, flush it out and make sure that you understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've misunderstood what the client wanted or misread architectural plans, and then I've had to value engineer. Or when you're getting into the nitty gritty, it's what people win jobs on what they haven't priced, which is ultimately just unfair.
Mm.
So that can be protected in the contract, but ultimately qualifications are quite important. So if you say I'm not allowed to break out rock, which is quite just make sure everyone's done the same. So just try and make sure that it's like for like. And it's a minefield.
It's hard to explain as well to some people without sort of saying, well, this company's trying to mug you off sort of thing.
Yeah, you don't want to like
just being honest.
Disrespect. Yeah.
you can't like slander people, but it's sort of, I psychologically do sort of plant some seeds in people's heads to say like, well, how's that made you feel that they haven't allowed that window? That they would have, oh, well, yeah, it's made me a bit not trust them. Okay, well, do you think that's the relationship you want to go down forever? Because, what else could happen that you might not trust them with? Oh, yeah, no, I didn't really think about that. Do you know what I mean? So I do try and bring people into the sort of real world, but sometimes, and it sounds harsh, but if someone just only cares about bottom line, that's just not someone I'm going to work with, because that's just going to happen every single time. Every single material is going to be really high maintenance. And unfortunately, pay the lads really well. I want to give her the best service I can, and I want to build, an analogy, the Ferraris. So I can't do that if I don't have the money in the pot.
Yeah.
And I also have a lot of time spent with clients, which has to be charged to someone.
Yeah, cost.
So again, if you want that service level being, 24/7 service, you want an in-house interior designer that can model your sketches. You want someone that can basically make your house probably worth another 100 grand by having it fully sweetened. That isn't zero. It doesn't cost any. That has to have a bit of a cost in a prelim. So it is difficult. Ultimately, there's a league in every single job you do, isn't there? So
Yeah. It's a service as well. Like you're providing a service from a person, not just thinking about the numbers and another project in the bag and all the rest of it. You're thinking about it holistically. So can you think about a project recently that you're really proud of? What was it that made it a success?
Like all of them, to be honest. Every job I've ever done, we're proud of. I think one thing that's really opened my eyes a little bit to the world is we did a community job for Community Roots, had to go through Contract Finder, which was a sort of government tender process. We tendered the job a bit blind. We got introduced by the architects, but we didn't know the clients. We had a 12, 15 people panel board interview where they absolutely grilled us with the most awkward questions I've ever been asked, like how have you planned to protect rabbits? But yeah, it was amazing because they were all volunteers and they all had like completely unrelated building stuff. They didn't care about it like deeply. They were concerned about, how we have a digger driver that's paralyzed. And they said, oh, like, how do you have women that work for you? Do you have anyone that has ability aids? And I said, well, I actually do. The guy that's going to dig your foot in is in a wheelchair. He's the only wheelchair, or the first wheelchair operated machine driver in the UK. He's done the first disabled CSCS card. And they were like, oh, why'd you do that? Because he's a good digger driver. Yeah, paralysed, don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Do you know what I mean? Someone can do the job. And we really, really got on, and it was a really hard job. They needed to save £100,000, so we value engineered quite a lot for them, and still gave them like an absolutely amazing building. It's all passive house principles, boosted the company a bit, got the lowest air test score. The architect, who's a prestigious architect, which is CAST, had ever received, so 0.41, which is really, really, really low. I think, building regs, depending on the house, needs 2 or 3. Passive house is 0.6, and we were way below that. We got our credibility, and then CAST have now started to look after us and starting to push work away because we said that we could do it, and then we did it. So,
and that was the hospital, was it?
No, so that's the hospital is another charity job we're doing.
Yeah.
Community Roots is really good. Basically,
the garden.
Yeah, 1 acre of land, all done by volunteers, kids that aren't in school, people with disabilities, the whole community basically coming together, doing organic vegetables. You guys then do a vegetable box with them. If you're absolutely on your knees financially, you pay a little bit less than what the normal person would, which is really lovely. And now they've got this massive unit that they can hopefully do some soups, they can do some other corporate days. And if you can try and push them for me, that'd be really helpful.
Yeah,
love it.
Community Roots, I see it on your social media.
Yeah, it's great. It was such a cool job. And then another community job, so going back to passion, we found a little bit of passion with some community jobs. So we're building Prickles and Pauses hog stable, so the hedgehog hospital. And again, Katie and her mum who do this, they do it in a shed. They've done it for like 15 years in a shed. You see a poorly hedgehog, you ring it, they bring it back to the hospital. That's a shed at the minute. And now it's mental. People doing this for 15 years for nothing, basically. Just because they love hedgehogs. They have no holidays. They do this. This is like they're doing this Christmas Day. Do you know what I mean? And they, through a connection, we got offered to price the hospital, and it's just so meaningful. Like, it really is. We've got one spectrum where the house on the cliff, and it's bachelor pad, mega wealthy guy. And you got someone in the shed who's just over them in their big kitchen.
Yeah,
and it's so meaningful. And that's going to be finished in end of January. So again,
Amazing.
Hopefully get a bit of publicity. We'll push that as well. And
definitely. Look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, and I'll get you guys over. Like, you're obviously both out and about, and they're just so like lovely that I went over there and just had a look around, because actually I've never really sort of seen like hedgehogs out up close, and they're class. They're actually so cool. So they've all got names. They all have these really quirky names. So they all get named over bands and stuff. So there might be like a litter, if a litter's the correct. No, I think they're hoglets, aren't they? So hoglets have a little hoglet, and they've all got little different names. If they're in a band and stuff, there's 5 of them. It's like,
mate,
all the names of Westlife.
Genuinely, they're class, and they might be vegetables. So you just have like carrot and broccoli, and that's just that bank of litter. It's funny. Yeah,
I'd love to come and ask them how they identify who's who.
Honestly, she just knows. Like, it's they've got like 100 or whatever. Sometimes it's mental.
Wow.
Yeah, that is cool.
I've got that little advert in my head about crossing the road. On the telly.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I was just thinking about Sonic.
I can see you being the mascot, Dave. Prolux Sonic mascot.
Yeah, well, it's the same colours as Prolux, so maybe go with that.
Maybe go with a little bit. Yeah, I can see you in that, mate, to be fair.
Thanks.
Right.
Float you back.
We'll definitely go there. So let's have a look at the unexpected surprises or things that you've not anticipated appearing in a project and that's been discovered and you need to address it. A well or something underneath a property, or a mine shaft, common in Cornwall.
Yeah.
What's sort of the worst thing?
Yeah, luckily nowhere near as bad as that. I mean, a couple of jobs that we've done, I've just had renovations and stuff are super, super, super tricky. You don't really know what it is. And a lot of farmers had these pig pens and stables that they just started turning into homes. They haven't, they weren't builders, didn't know how it would breathe and stuff. And there's a couple of times where we've had to like literally remove people out of their homes like that quickly because it's going to fall down, and they've been living there, loving it.
God,
super, super happy. Had one in Kenwyn where she had like 2 young kids, or 3 young kids actually, like really young as well. And yeah, we were just doing some light touch work, up something, and yeah, the whole bathroom was just dust. The joists.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she literally would bath the kids that night, and you just
could just fall through.
Could have just fallen through. Yeah, it was like scary. Walls just shaking. It was really terrifying, to be honest. From a builder's point of view, and we see that a lot. Like I was quite scared for her, and she got out for about 6 weeks, and it was all sorted. But yeah, in terms of when you're planning these budgets and stuff, just definitely have a bit of contingency, because you just don't know what you're going to come. And also just do some, it's only plasterboard, just cut out all the plasterboard on the end of the walls just before you start.
Just do some investigation.
Just at least then you can be like. But what happened was she didn't want the bathroom done. We were doing an extension, then she got carried away and said, I'm going to go do the bathroom, and let's do this and let's do that. And then we started doing other work we weren't meant to, and then we're like, oh my God, this house is going to fall down, Kate, you need to get out. Yeah.
And do you know, I speak to so many people, and I would literally say 10 times out of 10, when I say, how's the job gone to these homeowners and that, they'll go, yeah, it's taken a lot longer and it's cost a lot more. Always. I don't think anyone's ever said, yeah, it's gone exactly to plan.
But I don't think I've ever worked on a job where the client hasn't changed something and added something. Do you know what I mean? And I think it does go 2 ways. I think there's definitely unexpected things that can happen, but I do think as well, try to rein clients in and not go to OTD and getting excited, because it does happen. And I say a lot, like if we went out for lunch now and spent £1,000, it would be mental. We'd all think it's ludicrous money. But when you're in these meetings, you're spending £5,000 every 10 minutes, because they're just going, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. And it sort of doesn't have tangible money. So it's trying to rein people in and say, look, do you actually understand that adding coving isn't just adding coving? It's £7,000 worth of coving going all the way, and weeks of work and prelims and associated to it. So going back to why we set up, is just trying to give people a bit more of an informed decision about not just picking that. Is there's like some knock-on effects sometimes.
Yeah.
But you want people to have what you want to have, and lead horse to water, give them my view, but it's their home. They want it pink, have it pink. Don't care. It's just, but I think when it's like going back to the cliche of, the builders are really expensive or everything takes so much longer, it's like, it does when things change.
Yeah.
So if you affect the critical path being the linear approach of building the house, you're in stage 10 and you've got to go back to stage 3 because they actually think, let's have underfloor heating.
Yeah, you reverse.
You reverse and you start again, and it's hard. And I think people don't maybe understand that they need to really channel into what they want when they do the job.
Yeah. It's difficult, I always find, with clients at the start. They've got their ideas and they know what they want, but they don't actually understand the execution. Obviously, that's part of my job as a designer, to work with them, and you guys offer that too. But there's so many decisions, it's actually overwhelming.
I say exactly the same. It's overwhelming amount of decisions. And I say a perfect analogy of everyone picks the tiles, forgets about orientation, thinks about where the cuts would be, thinks where the grout would be, thinks about the tile trims. What about the setting out points? Is it half height? Is it full height? Are you having a border? What mastic colour? And that's just one bathroom of 7. And also from our end, we are very attentive. So if we're doing a shower niche, it's coarse to the tiles. The shower niche is built to suit exact dimensions of tiles. We don't just do what we're asked. We'll always make sure everything's completely lined through and sweetened through. And that might be collaborated with shower valve sizes, and genuinely really, really attentive. And they're like, this is just a lot. Why do you need the tiles at first fix?
Yeah.
And you can't do it without that knowledge. Do you know what I mean?
literally had this conversation on Tuesday night this week or whatever night it was, that the client's like, I want a shower niche. Right, well, okay, we need to know the height of your valve. We need to know your tile. We need to know which way you're orientating it. It's like, I haven't thought about tiles yet. Okay, it's massive. Like the number of decisions. I've got projects at the moment where it's just like hang fire on that, because we've got to align tap centres in the back of a vanity unit to come through a quartz upstand.
Yep.
That's already made and pre-cut, but the floor tile, if that's not confirmed, you can't actually work out the tap centre height to get it all to work. And
and I think
people
when
just
you're
see the end,
yeah, they do
don't
see the end.
reverse
And
to know
it
the
is-
steps.
No, you've hit it nail on the head. It is just foresee what you want, and then we can deliver it. But when you have those gaps between, I haven't really chosen the shower head,
Just have to wait.
well, then we're like a bit stopped.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, but it's only the shower head. Yeah, but it's not, because that shower head's linked to the lighting. So depending on how that's going to swan neck over, I don't want to put a downlight over and it's going to glare light everywhere. Well, why are you thinking that far ahead? Or just like, well, that's what we do. And then when they have it, everyone's like, thinks we're OCD. But when they then realise all these little decisions made their bathroom, they're just like, oh my God, thank God you
Knew about
knew
that.
about that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, some people can't visualize it, can they?
No.
And that's what I find with windows and doors. If you put a picture in front of someone and say, this is exactly how it's going to look like, they're going to go, oh, bloody hell. Yeah, that looks really good. But if you're just telling them, some people just can't see it and wonder why you're sort of talking that way.
Yeah, I think with you've obviously got like swatches and profiles and stuff for people to see and understand. And we have that in the office where we've got probably 1,000 materials now. We've got side sections of windows, side sections of composite windows, side sections of joinery made windows. We've got an actual 3D made model of a house in the office. We've got the window section profile, how the tapes look in the office. So when people are talking about, say, EWI render, I say, how grainy do you want the render? But like, what sort of question is that? Okay, let me show you.
Yeah.
There's these 3 different textures. Oh my God, I just thought I was just picking render. So sometimes it's like, oh my God, I don't care. I'm like, that's fine, I'm happy with that one. But ultimately, I want you to know what you're choosing, because I don't want to shock when you're like, oh, it's quite grainy, that render, I don't like it. And you're like, oh, brilliant, it's 30 grand's worth of system on your walls and now you're unhappy about it. So, but I think that's where and whether it works or not, I don't know, we'll see. But I think having Molly involved, where clients say, I really don't know how this bathroom's going to work. She 3D models it in SketchUp, puts it through software, and it's a real CGI. And then they say, can we change that oak to a birch? And then can we change those tiles to that? And within an hour, they've got 3 real rooms made. For me and the client's interactive journey, it's worth its weight in gold.
100%.
Because they fully can see it all then, and it's real then, and they make an informed decision on it. And the amount of times that they might have a plethora of decisions between 1, 2, and 3, but thank God they could see all 3, because then they knew what they liked. And that going down to, say, staircases. If you make a staircase that's 20, 30 grand and they don't like it because they didn't envision a 2D
because they couldn't
drawing,
see what you can see, because who can do that?
How
There is
disheartening is
actually
that?
a condition where you just can't visualize. And I'm
Yeah,
working
there
with
is.
somebody at the moment, and
Yeah.
I can say red apple, and she says that means nothing. See the word, can't see it.
Yeah.
And people just sometimes can't look at a 2D plan and they can't bring themselves
I
into
think
a
we
room.
need to realise we're professionals and it's a skill.
Yeah.
And you know, whatever those people do for their jobs, we wouldn't be able to do. But I think it's genuinely skill to look at 2D drawing and then realise how it'll
Be in that
work.
space.
And it's so scary for clients to make decisions when they don't understand what it's going to look like. So I think for our like USP to have that service is genuinely to reassure so many clients.
Yeah.
That they can think, oh, so nice, I can pick stairs early because you're forcing me to pick stairs early, but I can see it 3 ways.
Yeah, I
It's-
think it speeds up the process. It, cuts down on delays. If builders have got designers working with them, or within the team, then you can give those clients illustrations of what it's going to look like and explain any nuances, things that they're changing. But if they can't visualize it, then it's really tricky, and it does cause delays, huge delays.
You wouldn't buy a car without seeing it, would you?
No, you wouldn't, would you?
Like you wouldn't.
No.
So we're forcing clients to make decisions they don't understand what it looks like, and it's like a worry.
Yeah.
And also, we don't want to be at the end of it when they go, you said it looked nice. Well, that's an opinion, isn't it? It's not my home. I shouldn't have an opinion on what is going to look good for them. It's their house. So
Yeah.
I need to be sort of what would be the right word? Guide, but not have a choice.
It's not your,
it's not my- it's
you're
that-
not designing it for you.
Yeah.
It's for them. So you have to interpret what they really like.
I do hate when you have it a lot. What do you think? What do you like? If it's your home, I'll professionally give you my guidance where this looks really lovely. When it's done, you might not be able to visualize it, but don't be forced by me. It's your house.
I try to explain it as, well, this is the implication of putting that style of light fitting here. This is what will happen in the room. And then alternatively, option B, that's the consequence of that. And then you've given them the information and they can make an informed decision. So it's a great process to be working with clients to deliver them a home that makes them feel their absolute best. It's fantastic.
I genuinely, and so I don't know, people probably think I'm mental when I interview them, but it's like that Ferrari is everything to them. That's their home. Do you know what I mean? And you're there picking the rims with them, and what colour do you want the seats? And it's like, there's a lot more decisions in construction, but it's like such a proud, passionate thing. And I actually didn't say that right at the start, but one of the things that I have in my blood, I suppose, and that's that traditional view, is like my old man was a builder and he'd wear a shirt to work. And back in the day, they definitely didn't have the science we have now, but they had a lot more pride and they had a lot more passion. And to be a builder was a thing to be proud of. The apprenticeship scheme was a laborious 5 years, and you come out and you knew how to build a house. And I feel like, whoever's to blame in terms of the criteria of how it gets pushed through colleges, 2 years isn't enough time. You're not a tradesman. You're coming out thinking you're a tradesman, you're not. You need to understand theory as well as the practical. That's like a 10-year thing. The apprenticeship should be longer, in my view. And I want the pride back in the industry. Do you know what I mean? And I think all the white collar jobs with this AI is a really scary thing. And to be a lawyer potentially means nothing now, because that might be eradicated over the next 20 years. But they're not going to be able to eradicate builders. And I feel like because you're thick, and I use the word thick, I left school with minimal GCSEs. I'm now one of the highest qualified I can get to, not because I was thick, because I didn't enjoy the curriculum I was taught. Don't judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree. Don't judge a monkey on its ability to swim. Curriculum in school set for certain people's types, and I feel like certain people get pushed into the industry because they're better with their hands, and that's just a thing that is literally an aesthetic learner likes to touch and feel and see stuff. Certain people can read and retain, some people can't. That's just how people are wired. Like, that's just what it is. But I think that's one thing that really needs to be pushed by these colleges, is that you're not a tradesman because you're silly. You're a tradesman because you need to be proud that you're going to be working on these houses. This is someone's house. It's their biggest investment of their life. And that's just not pushed to them.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, really, because I see it a lot. And, I've done stuff in colleges and schools, and I feel like when you go to college and you're pushed into that construction world, you sort of think, oh, well, I have to do construction because academically I'm not just there. But you just haven't found your strength. For me, for example, I wasn't the best in school, wasn't the best in college, but I've come out, played to my strengths. I was on site for a while. And these kids need to learn that there's not just, you don't go on site, you're not just a bricklayer, not just a mason, a carpenter or whatever. You can do so much more, so many jobs within the industry. I mean, I talk for a living. If you've got a big personality, then play to that strength. Get out there, rep. There's plenty of rep jobs.
But also, you're giving yourself discredit because you're a professional and you're giving people the right guidance. So you could look at a house, which is a skill. You look at a house and it could be a really terribly cob house that's really cold. And you then shouldn't be selling them aluminium because you know it's going to condensate and not be the best firmly bridged thing. So you're not just talking, you're advising to, give people the best they can. And I think, going back to the school system, there's loads of different jobs that people can go into, but like people discredit ground workers, the thick ones in the mud, and there's some of the complicated civils that are out there. It's like mental. People can't even, because they don't see it, don't even understand what goes into like retaining someone's house or a road, and they just think, oh, there's idiots in the mud, and you think, well, these guys are a hell of a lot smarter than you realise.
Yeah, plus we need them. I always think about McDonald's. You've got someone flipping your burger in there. Well, they're just as important as the guy in head office who's doing all the finance and all getting paid big money. Because if you didn't have those guys on the ground flipping the burgers, then
No,
You haven't got a business.
no, of course. But I have a thing like A, B, and C players, right? And like A's will be people strategically pushing businesses, and B's are like absolute mustard tradesmen, really, really happy and want to, bring on apprentices. And there's some people that just like don't want hassle. They don't want aggro. They might have a disabled child at home who takes all their energy out, and they just want to turn up to work and do a good day's work, and they don't need any more than that. And I think everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are always pushing people to be a B and an A player. And we do appraisals all the time, subcontractors and employees. How are you getting on? Is there anything I can do to support you? And actually, because we do it so regularly, people just sit there and go, I'm really happy. I don't want any training. I don't want anything from you. I'm just happy. And I think I'm so glad I do these appraisals quite regularly because I'm wired the way I am, always pushing to get everyone to be an A player. And actually, one thing I've learned since I've had my own staff is like some people have got hardest scenarios at home, poorly wives, poorly kids. And actually, they do me everything I can at work, and I shouldn't put any more stress on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can go through times in your life as well where you're like, right, I'm an A now,
Yeah.
but I actually need to be a B next year.
Yeah.
People go through different circumstances in life, don't they?
Yeah.
You just need a break.
Yeah, you do. And I think you can burn yourself out. And you said it on the podcast. Yes. Well, I listened to it yesterday, but I don't want to die and drop dead as early as my dad did. That's why, like you said, that I don't use the gym. I've got a gym, and I think for me to be as healthy as I can for my family is like one of the most important things. Now I've got kids. I don't think, oh my God, I've got this business now. I need to sort of keep the business going, and give the clients the attentive service. But I don't want to drop dead in 10 years' time in India and Luke and not have their dad. So I think it is, not balance. I hate balance, but it's definitely
boundary.
Yeah, definitely just setting, and you have different aspirations. Some people want lots of property. Some people want to enjoy things in life, don't they? And you just need to, the word happiness is key, really, isn't it? To why we all go to work. Some people want more or less, but you can definitely burn yourself out trying to be an A player all the time. So you do need to have those breaks, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It's great that you just enjoy it so much. We can see that, and definitely from your social media videos as well. The clients are so happy working with you. It's really rewarding. You're changing the landscape. It's a fantastic job to have, and it's great that you're passionate about it. You're not just doing it for the sake of it.
Yeah, it's really hard to sell your business, to say what we do different to builders, but the fact that lots of clients in the rate for us is really lovely. And yeah, the one we did of Winnard Barn recently, I didn't have a clue how much it affected her life. I just got married and I didn't even cry at my wedding. And then I had her video sent to me about 3 days after my wedding, and it brought tears to my eye. And I thought, oh my God. Chloe's like, what are you a bit teared up for? And I thought, I didn't realise how much as a
one woman for the rest
of
your life. It's difficult. Worth crying about.
Dave. No, congratulations on your wedding. That is lovely.
Thank you so much.
No, that's good.
So if we think about mistakes that, you said people change their mind and there's extra decisions to be made. And of course, we've covered unforeseen circumstances. But in that planning and design stage, what do you think is the worst mistake people make? And how can they avoid it? Maybe they're listening. They need a tip.
Make as many decisions as you can before you even get quotes. Our most successful jobs are when the builders are involved at the planning stage or even before planning. I've got projects that we've done cost plans for clients to get them through planning because they maybe don't always feel like QSs want to put their PI on the block and give them an accurate price. The way we price, we know roughly the things that won't be on a building regs application because we build houses every day. So I'm more than comfortable to be doing a price for someone when I think I'm going to anticipate what roughly that would be in cost. And I think clients do want to make decisions alongside the builder or alongside the interior designer team. And I think, of course, don't want to take the fun out of that. But there's two journeys. You have a fixed cost and the cost doesn't change because you've given them all the design and you know exactly what you're having and you've picked it all. And that for a builder is a dream, right? You just build it and you might have some things that you tweak and it doesn't change cost. The time doesn't change because you're just doing what you're told. And that's a traditional route. That is the route that everybody used to do. I think what clients want more now is that interactive route, but you can't be interactive while you're on a fixed cost. I can't wait for you to make these decisions while I've got 7 blokes there at £1,500 a day, just waiting for you to decide things and you not pay their wages or me pay it and lose loads of profit. So That's where they have cost plus jobs, which is a little bit more in a relaxed route. Depends on the client, depends on the budget. The ideal scenario, and only a few architects in Cornwall can do it, is everything's designed, interiors and but that is only 2%, I reckon, of the work that we would see. People think that they can make those decisions, but the problem is they don't consider the 15 decisions around the tiling. They pick the tiles. I've nailed it. I've got it. Tiler turns up. Setting out doesn't work. They need to be then on site to make the decisions. It's an overwhelming amount, and that's one thing that we've tried to like really emphasize with people. But if you want the perfect job, appoint an architect, ask them for recommendations, go out and do due diligence, meet 7 builders, go and meet 5 of their jobs that are live. You will be able to see the difference between a builder's live project that's a good builder and not a good builder.
Yeah.
Then tell 3 of them, we only want you 3 to tender. They'll then be invested. The amount of people that say, oh, I've got a job here, price it. No, I want to meet you. Oh, I don't have time to meet you. I don't have time to price it.
Yeah.
So, sorry, like it's a big investment.
It takes
price.
ages to do it.
And also, if you're not interested in me, the team, our model, and you just want a price, to go and pay QS to do that for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I want you to be invested in my business, know about my kids, understand what we're doing. That's the relationship we want with people, not just be pricing these luxury houses, because I don't actually care what the house looks like. It's the client. That's like the big thing.
Have you seen that meme going around on social media at the moment? And it's the 2 guys that dance. I think they're brothers, and they like dance in their garage. They're really cool. You must have seen their videos on Instagram. That. You're more LinkedIn, aren't you, David? Super professional. I'll send it you. There's a phrase, you know, don't get too close to your clients, it's unprofessional. And then there's these 2 guys like having a real boogie and dancing around a living room or a site or whatever. And I see it and I think, yes, I've got clients. And, you know, she jokes if she changes a decision, she's like, if I keep delaying things and changing my mind, we won't go for a walk at the end of the project, you know. I actually really want you to come round for a cup of tea at my house at the end, and we'll have a chat, you know, and go for a walk.
I say that in the pitch, and I said it to you actually before we mic'd up, was if I can't feel like I can have a pint at the end of a job with a client, or they're not going to be my friend at the start when I first meet them, I'm not going to do the job.
It's such a personal thing, isn't it? You're involved in their life really so much for such a long time.
You're involved in their life, and you're also building their dream, you know, building for their kids potentially to inherit. Like you want to give them everything, and for them, I want them to be invested in why they chose us and know the difference between us and other builders.
Yeah, I used to work for a big national company. I had the worst advice ever given to me, which was there's no friends in business. I make a living off of having friends in business.
It's the opposite. It is the opposite. And I think when people trust you and it's not like just a buying and selling relationship, it's so much more, but you both get so much more out of each other. Like we've gone over budget on some jobs, then been given certain things come in, and I thought, oh, do you know what, you can just have those tiles for nothing. And they're like, oh, okay, thanks. I said, oh, but you know, like this bit came in a bit more than the budget, so I'll try and help you out because I like you. Yeah, because I like you. Do you know what I mean? And I think when it's like someone's grinding you all the time financially, you wouldn't do that back. You think, oh, well, you can have the £2,000 tiles now as well. But genuinely, all our clients are like mates, and I'm very lucky as well that all our clients are quite influential people in their sectors, and I end up sort of getting some mentorship with people and ask them loaded questions. Yeah, I'm 33, and I'm like, you know, business 5-6 million turnover this year. How would you deal with these scenarios? And genuinely, they're like, they love it. They're like, oh, do this. This is how I would deal with it. And I think, that to me is also invaluable, who I work with. Do you know what I mean? So
they care about your business doing well, and they want you to go on and do well from working with them.
Yeah, and certain tweaks that I do to my business will affect how their projects can be ran sometimes. Do you know what I mean? It's so silly, but the perfect analogy is one of our clients said to me, oh, I'm stressing out, I'm doing appraisals just before Christmas. He said, no, never do that. And I was like, why? He said, oh, over Christmas, they didn't get the pay rise, they're really annoyed. I thought, he goes, do it in the summer. Everyone's happy in the summer. And I thought, there's complete logic with that.
Yeah,
And
100%.
100%. And it's so like when you say it, you say, oh, so it's such a simple thing. But I was like, oh, Nick, you legend. Thanks so much for telling
Yeah,
me.
advice,
Because
yeah.
he runs, a business that had like 200 employees and he's sold multiple companies. And that week I was like, right, we're not doing that. Just
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just one of many tiny little tricks you get from just people like being, said to you, like the word credible, like you've done it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've actually done it. Like I take my hat off to people that go and do it. And if they succeed or don't, like, well done, fair play.
I once went to a talk before I'd started my business. It was a home building renovation event in Manchester. And the builder that spoke on the stage, the only thing I can remember coming away is he told the audience that, he becomes friendly with his clients, and he actually was the godfather to one of his clients' children. They were pregnant during the process, and then at the end of it, they asked him to be godparent
Oh, that's
to,
good.
So
to
good.
their kid.
Yeah.
Wicked, brilliant. But I think also when you have these good relationships with clients, if things don't go quite to plan, or you need to say, well, actually we've got a little bit of a delay here, or some circumstances are just changing, then they understand. I've had to recently do that before Christmas with, family circumstances. I actually just needed to step away for a couple of days, make sure my family were all right, and then pick back up. And it did mean I just had to step away. Let them know. Absolutely fine, not a problem. Just, hope everyone's all right.
I think
Brilliant.
it's reassuring to people that even though we do a service as a family life and people behind it, that sometimes people do, we get chased for prices quite a lot. And it's like the guy that's doing it's been in hospital 2 weeks. It's like, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to give him a hard time. He's ill. Just I'll leave him to it.
Yeah,
Do you know
while
what I
you're
mean?
in hospital, here's a laptop, crack on.
Yeah.
But I think when you have a more personal, humane relationship with people, you're a bit more, they're just, they want it, but they're sort of going to be like, oh, he's always been credible when he could, and so I'm just going to get off his case a bit.
Yeah. He's doing it. He knows what he's on about.
So there's many challenges on site, as we all know. What's the most challenging site that you've ever had? I think I've been to this one, so I'll look forward to hearing your answer.
Yeah, I mean, I actually love this story. This is going back to people, right? So my old employer, the contracts manager, got offered this job. He went and met him, the client wanted this builder. It was P. Chapman, and basically he took ages to tell them the job's theirs. Sat on it for 3 months. He then said to them, right, the job's yours, and they said, we're really sorry, we're fully booked now, but Adam's just left us. He's a really good guy. I highly recommend you go and meet him. So I got recommended him, then started, emailing him, trying to phone him. And I phoned him after about 3 weeks. So, oh, hey, Alan, I've tried to meet up with you. I want to see your job and try and see if I can offer you any support. And he said, sorry, mate, I don't want to be just given builders. I want to find them. And I said, okay, no worries. And I just sat on it. And I thought, do you know what? No, that's bullshit. I'm good enough to do his job. So I rang him back and said, look, you can't just say that to me. I've worked for the company you wanted. You've discredited me before you've even met me. That's just ridiculous. I said, I want to meet you and I want to see your job. So anyway, he's met 5 builders and I walked down to this absolute stinker of a job on a cliff edge. And then there's loads of flawed problems. And I said, have you got someone that's going to do the tanking design? And there's a lot of water runoff off your rock. So we need to basically put this drainage system in. And he looks at me and he's like, the job's yours. I said, what? He's like, yeah, you're my builder now. I said, why? He said, well, I've met 5 of the people I picked and none of them have picked any of these things. He thinks being really open and honest. I can feel like I can work with you. And, the job's been really complicated. It's on the Gannel. The client wanted a basement under his house. Got it because I backed myself. I knew I could do it. And also I was annoyed that people would be arrogant enough to tell me that I couldn't. And Alan's actually a bit of a mate now. And he's been such a great client and the job's really cool. So I look forward to showing you guys as well.
Love that story.
Yeah,
Really
it's
good. I like
genuinely real. I was fuming actually. Maybe he could fuck off, but he didn't. But no, I'm glad he didn't. And I think for him, he's always known that I did have his best interests at heart. The job's been really hard, but he just can see how much blood and sweat has gone into it, and the lads have just been doing what they could. Yeah, really stupidly hard. Yeah, fair play to them.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate. So looking ahead, what positive changes or innovations are you excited about in the construction industry? I know you're quite forward thinking as well within the industry. So
Especially your passive house qualifications. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of the designs that we're seeing are definitely improving. I think lots of people are taking on the passive house principles. It is becoming a bit of a marketing word at the minute. It's doing weird in. So we are actually building the first certified passive house. The meaning behind it being certified is therefore saying that you've got two Ferraris and one's got all the tests done and actually does go 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, and the other one's actually not got the engine of the other one, but you're still saying the same thing it does. And it's a laborious design process. Like, we've been doing these solar calculations and they didn't work and it was overheating, and then the trees went in, which is actually the mature trees they have on the site, and then it works. And that's how, like, the level of detail is. The pipes under the floor get calculated for heat loss and they have to be changed to shorter routes. It's really, really, really scientific. It's great. Like, it's actually what should happen. And
Give you a kick.
yeah, no, it does. And it's important. What I find important about it is you have all these buildings that have condensation. You have all these buildings with thermal bridges. You have all these buildings with mold that are new, right? And I want to say the word correctly, but you know, don't know. I say a science teacher now, but someone who's a scientist who was heavily involved with physics basically said, why do these buildings not work? And he did this 56 years ago. And going back to my roots, I was involved with passive house principles when I'm like 18 years old. So I've had this in my like career for years, like doing joist wraps, doing air membranes, doing all these things like years and years and years and years ago. And now everyone's doing it thinking it's like a new thing. And I've fucking done this by apprenticeship.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then now we basically did a job, and it was close to being passive house. And I said to the client, I said, can I pay for all your certification fees, 10 grand, and I'll get this one certified? And he said, yeah, if it supports your business, yeah, absolutely no problem. So loads of marketing is, oh, we build passive houses, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm a passive house builder, blah, blah, blah. You're not, because no one's done a certified one that's single dwelling in Cornwall. There's multiple ones, but we are actually doing the first certified one. So for me to actually do that is really important. Going to be getting ACB over, trying to get the passive house industry over, and also trying to get the kids over. And I say kids, you know, young, mature students, unis, so that they can actually see it. And when you see what goes into passive house principles, and then you see what goes into normal, you know, volume building, so interesting. Like, it really is. And it's just all about a mindset. It doesn't actually cost loads of money. Some of it can, you know, some of the details we've got are a bit OTT, but that's just because of the way the building was. But when you actually see what goes into it, and you just put insulation on the inside of a reveal to prevent thermal bridge, you're talking like 20 quid a window. Talking about the tapes that we use, 25 quid a window. Would you put £100,000 worth of windows into your house and not seal them properly? The outer edge, you wouldn't seal properly because I'm skimping out on money, but I've got a window that leaks like hell. It doesn't make any sense, does it? But
exactly right.
That's what happens. Like, people will be like, I'll appoint someone who doesn't understand how to do these things properly, and then I'm fuming that my windows are leaking. Well, the window itself, the casement itself doesn't. The windows are perfect, but all the installation, all the fitting, all the foams are incorrect.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love it. It's really, really interesting, and I'll get you guys over as well to have a look at that.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
And I think in terms of innovation, I think the industry's moving forward. You know, there's less deaths in construction, there's less, I'd say, mistakes, but I do feel like there needs to be more curriculum pushed. They need to be teaching kids about reading plans, reading insulation, understanding insulation. What does it do? Like, you just go onto a site and go and install Celotex. Well, that might not be the right product for that. So that's, I hope that gets pushed. But I'm personally just excited to be doing passive house and have it certified and try and get that more of a thing in Cornwall. And there's a lot of architects now that have got jobs live, which is great. Really good.
Maybe there's a place for you in shaping some of the education to bring this knowledge and demonstrate the pride that you talk about earlier. That's really important. Maybe there's a place for you doing that a bit.
No, 100%. I did do a talk for Truro College, and we donated them we built a passive house model for them.
Brilliant.
Again, we're the worst marketed person ever because we do all these things and we don't tell everyone about it. It's so stupid. So eventually you'll see that we did basically build passive house building for Truro College.
Nice.
And done a talk with students. And yeah, it was really, really good. And we was talking about you talk about air tightness, and I'll just bore you in the science for 2 seconds. But what I said to the students, because when you're a student, you're talking about all these different air changes per blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, it's going way over their head, isn't it? So what my analogy was, I said, see this 5p, that 5p, or I think it's like 50p. I said, that 50p there per square metre, they're all looking at me, is what building regs is. And they're like, that every metre of a house. I said, yeah, that whole, every square metre of a house is building regs. And then I basically put a pinprick of a pen. I said, that's what we've achieved at Community Roots. It's mental.
Yeah.
So you're having all these new houses built, but you're still happy to let all the heat suck out of it. And you're going, oh, we're building low carbon buildings. Yeah, the materials are low carbon, but the building mythology is still terrible and leaky. So what's the point? Yeah, thank God we got air source heat pump, but the air source heat pump works really hard all the time, pumps all the heat in the house and back out. So it's all just, I don't know, it's a bit disjointed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry to go on.
No, it's good.
Yeah, that's good, mate. Yeah, that's what we want. Yeah. So what do you do outside of work? Tell us a bit more about your life outside of work.
Like used to love football, boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu. Had quite a few fights when I was younger, and
What, on the street or?
a bit of both, to be honest. Undefeated on the street, lost every time in the ring, but
Can't win them all.
no, you can't win them all, can you? You can't win them all. But no, at the minute, go back to the word, balance and trying to find some time. I've just put all my spare time into my kids, just keeping them busy and doing fun stuff. Getting Indy into football and that sort of stuff has been really cool. Got a mountain bike, got the road bike, got the gym. I'd like to get back into jiu-jitsu. I don't know if you've ever seen it, done it, but it's one of the funnest, most disciplined sport you'll ever do.
Yeah, I bet it's really good.
So good. And you have these, like, people think there's arrogance in gyms, boxing, it's the nicest, calmest people. They look like little dweebs and they'd twist you up like a pretzel in 2 seconds. And it's just so fun. Everyone's there trying to help each other. And it's, I'd like to get back into jiu-jitsu, but at the minute, not doing a great deal, just trying to keep fit, I suppose, just doing some running and just going to go out on a bike. So not a great deal. We did a few charity football games, which is quite nice.
Oh, cool.
Don't know if you heard about Red Roof Albany. So the treasurer stole all their money. So me and 11 of my mates and then maybe 5 other subs basically set up a charity team and played against Albany's rugby lads and donated maybe £1,000 or something to them to try and
Decent.
So yeah, we want to try and make that a bit of a thing to like do charities for certain events.
Yeah.
I actually love playing football. I just miss it so much. But it's just a big commitment. So
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I play once a week. I'll tell you what, for about 2 or 3 days afterwards, my legs are killing me.
mate, we did there's different Astros, isn't there? But there's like the hard one on concrete, and I hadn't played football for ages. And oh my God, my ligaments! And I just felt like an old man again for a while. But the soft Astros are good.
Yeah.
Where'd you play?
Bounce Bay.
Bounce Bay.
Yeah.
Is that Helston way?
No, Penzance.
That's a pub then at Helston, is it?
Is it?
There's a restaurant or something at Mounts Bay. Well,
I don't know. I don't play
not
football in the
Helston.
pub.
Pelorian. No,
yeah.
Mullion, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Mullion. There's a little place called Mounts Bay
Oh,
up
right.
there.
Well, yeah, no, I don't play football in the pub.
Usually ends there, though, from what I learn.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah, no. Well, we've been chatting over an hour now, so it's a pretty long one. Big edit. Lots of work for me. But honestly, I think you're a top bloke. I think your business is brilliant. I love your passion. Always speak highly of you. I think you're a really nice guy. And yeah.
It's the nicest thing. This is probably one of the podcasts where you haven't talked about boobs, so you need to get that in quickly.
Oh, yeah. I love
And you haven't sworn at all.
Fuck me, I haven't ever.
And you've actually been really nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
I did almost take a dig at you when you were talking about jobs at college and all the rest of it. And I was like, yeah, come away from the changing rooms.
Yeah. Well, yeah, in college, yeah.
What you were doing, mischief. Yeah.
No, we won't
always
speak about them. Not on this podcast anyway. Maybe in the future.
No, it's been a real pleasure to be here. And you've both done something completely different. And I really tip my hat off to you both. And I was saying to Charlotte earlier, you've come down here not knowing anyone and made a massive success of yourself by putting yourself in awkward positions and just keep building relationships. And I would say that's maybe something that needs to be pushed to kids, that if you're an introvert, regardless of being extrovert and that's easy for you, just to try and build relationships is a massive thing in Cornwall. And just be a nice person. Don't burn people, don't be greedy, and just be helpful. and it will come around. Calm's the thing.
Goes a
Thank
long
you.
way.
That's really nice. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Dave, I don't actually like you very much.
Well, yeah.
So I've got nothing nice to say about you.
I'm crying a little bit right now.
No,
Always knew you were a prick.
no, I think it was episode 3 where he called me out saying I don't use a gym. So
That's really got to you, hasn't
yeah,
it?
no, I'm fucking fuming. No, I'm not really.
Nah, it's obvious you do. Massive.
We
Yeah.
hugely appreciate that you listen to every episode.
Oh,
Thank
I love
you.
it. No, I love it. Well done, guys. I'm really happy for you guys. You're nailing it, and really big pleasure to sort of be on here. And if you ever need anything from me, like genuinely, please ask. I'll do what I can to support you both.
Thank you.
Nice
That's
one.
wicked.
Cheers, Adam. And thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.
What's the worst that can happen?